Good evening and welcome to yet another day of beating COVID 19. Today, I want to thank you for a very nice Talking Heads week. Today, we are on the Harare background. This is something I got from there some many years ago. And today, it's going to be a good day. This week is going to be a good week. We're going to talk about lockdowns, we're going to talk about containment policies, we're going to talk about countries and what they've done to beat COVID-19 in their countries, and we're going to compare and contrast with what we've done here and how progressive and how helpful it has been for us. Today, basically, we're going to cover COVID-19 containment strategies, or the strategies to manage it, also the phases of a pandemic, because for most of us, we don't know where we are. We're like, we should be out here, we should be gone, we should be free, we should be out, we should be. But guess what? Sometimes it's good to know the strategies and the pathways that are being used in pacing and knowing where we are at COVID-19. So basically, guys, it's not rocket science. This is new. It's not news because it's been used all over the world in other pandemics. For Kenya, and we shall have two papers in this in the back attached to the comments in this video, which talk about the containment strategies that have been applied in Kenya and based on world best practices. It will do you well to read them so that you can actually have a pretty good picture of where we are at and what we're doing. The reports might be old, because they might be from April, but nonetheless, they do contain vital information about what it is we are up to and what we are doing as a nation and what has been projected to be done. Let's get started. Now, basically, there are 4 phases of any pandemic globally, and they usually follow by the initials CMRR. And the 4 phases are the containment phase, the mitigation phase, recovery phase, and reopening phase. At the moment, I think I'd pose that question to you. Where do you think we are at? Are we at the containment phase, mitigation phase, recovery phase, or reopening phase? Now, all these phases have impacts in the economies, in the social status, in the social life, and the way things are done. Now, I'm not going to go into details about definitions and stuff, because all of that will be found in the report by the Horn Institute for East Africa. So you'll be able to see what strategies and impacts in the economy that they have projected. Well, as you can see, when you look at the projections, the numbers did not tally. They were the guys who are projecting 10,000 cases by end of April, but it was not so. You can get it, we can get it, but it didn't get that number. So Africa CDC had a different approach, and that's the AU body, and theirs was like they had 2 phases, where it was epidemic phase 1 and 2, which dealt with the imported cases and cases coming into the country and cases in known transmission chains. Like, for example, if I landed in the country and I had it and I passed it on to my family, my wife, my relatives, my friends, my taxi driver I went with, all these people, they can be contained. This is the phase 1 and 2, where you can do contact tracing, you can actually find out where these people are. Then phases 3 and 4 were community transmission or outside chain transmissions, meaning that a guy who has no evidence of international travel has an infection. So it means there is a link between the virus and him, and that link is the community spread or a random chance event whereby he touched a surface, he had fluid change with that person, or he just met up with something and that transmitted the virus to him. So those are the 2 phases. Again, the Africa CDC document will be attached. One last thing is that right now, under the CDC document, there are 2 Africa CDC, mark you, it's the AU document. There are 2 mentions of COVID strategies that they have been using. Number 1 is the containment strategy, which followed the famous WHO protocol TTI, which is testing, tracking, and isolation. So you found that out, that once you tested positive, they did contact tracing as to who you met and how you met them and where you met them. After trying to get those people, you isolate you're isolated, and a lot of people you've met are isolated. That is the TTI format. Very well, very popular, very well known. Then there is the delay mitigation process, whereby now the institution of lockdowns, partial, full, extreme, loose, all that kind of thing. This week we're going to focus a lot on lockdowns, because the lockdown strategy of certain countries has been highly successful, while the same lockdown applied in other countries has not. And today we're going to talk about the best success stories: New Zealand, Taiwan, Vietnam as well. And also we're going to talk about the worst case scenarios like Italy, UK, Brazil, and the US. I think those are the ones we can talk about this time. Other than that, I don't want to take too much of your time. I want you guys to read. This week is a week of knowledge building because we were disappointed on the 6th, yet we couldn't understand why. Now it's time for you to back up your knowledge and get involved. Get your hands dirty. Get your brain engaged and begin to see why certain decisions are being made and how we can help mitigate. Don't forget, the protocol is simple. 4 C's. Clean your hands. Clear your space. Chill at home. And have I missed one? Clean your hands. Clear your space. Cover your face. Chill at home. Yes. 4. There are 4. Yes. And then also enjoy this week. Last week's episodes are all in yesterday's summary, in yesterday's index. You'll see all the episodes of Talking Heads. Go through them. If you missed any of them, watch them in series. It kind of also give you a continuum of what was the thought process throughout the whole time. Otherwise, I want to wish you guys a good evening. Today is going to be short because it's the start, and usually the first day is the day of rest. So I don't want to tax your mind or take too much time. Please read the 2 documents that we're going to attach. And tomorrow, we're going to start dealing with lockdowns and understanding the strategies that have been implemented and why they are successful and why they are not. Also, if you have any questions concerning this guy, how to disinfect your car, please feel free to add them to the comments and how it can be done, because it's proved to be quite an effective method because it's simple. It's like a steam fumigation for your car. It costs nothing, less than $500, and you're good. So, okay, no, $500 as in 500 bob, 500 shillings, $5. Yeah, just that. So, enjoy. Have a good evening. God bless you. Take care, and see you in the next one. And I hope you like the new backdrop.